You know, the last time I think some of you people in the folk they came here with me. We gave some medical materials here, and I saw the condition of the clinic. So this is the Slipway Community Clinic, I mean health center. They are catered to so many persons across Roseau Island, Central Monrovia, District 8, the rest of the areas. This has a big history in our health sector in our country. So you boys used to do the COVID vaccine here, right?
Yes.
Yeah. They used to do the COVID vaccine here to people. So my family here, I usually when I come here, I joke them. So we're then making some contributions here. Like I told you early last year, I said before June, we'll start the renovation of this place. And then we're not going to stop there. We'll also bring you a generator. There's a 5.5 kV generator that will brought to you to use. When you don't have electricity, you can use this generator. We brought it accessories and everything. They want you for you. You know, anything you say, that's what you do. And then when we came to do the assessment here, the guys were looking at I think 5 or 6 or 7,000, something like $5,000. They said they look at the wiring because here you have LEC challenge. The electrical work is a challenge here, and we want to, when we come back here, we want to see all these things change. So they will draw some of the money for you, yourself, to find your own people to do it. Yeah, that's what we want to do. You know, some people say, because you won't run, no. I've been coming here all of the time, even before this year. But now because we don't announce to people that we usually come to here, you know, people just talk because they want to talk. Or we don't listen to them because they will talk, no matter what the situation is. So, on behalf of our coordinator, our youth, our leader here, and the rest of the CDC family, we are very excited that we are here. So today, I want to say to you, man, today we brought 3,000 devices. You know, I believe that you use the money for the internal purpose. We owe you 2,000 US dollars. So start the work. When you reach, we'll add the 2,000 United dollars to complete the work. You know, other people say, no, we should bring our team. You shouldn't put the money in your hand. I say, no. Once you have worked in the clinic here, and you mean well for the clinic, and you're been there sacrificing, even sometimes to get paid, difficult to transport yourself. I believe that you love the people, you use the money for the internal purpose. So I brought the 3,000. My women leader is here. You know, someone passed away from her as the women leader of the CDC. So she couldn't be here initially. I didn't even tell her the money because I don't know how to run. You can't tell us people say, I'm bringing something here for you. So that's a surprise. Yeah, that one we get a lot of noise, a lot of shouting around here. So, but what I say here, Louis, means so.
She joined the team.
She's sure.
I joined your own class. She joined the team.
I
So she just smiled.
You did not. Yeah, so we'll listen to what I say. What your name?
My name is Teresa Ipitez Informa. I'm the officer in charge of this facility. On behalf of the staff of this clinic, I want to say a big thank you to our honorable. As he said, he did not announce it myself. He took me by surprise. But if we were told ahead of time, the whole staff would have been represented. But few are here. I want to say thank you on behalf of the staff of this facility to our honorable. He's always with us. Always. During the Ebola, he was here. During the COVID, he came. And after the crisis went down, he identified with us, and again he's here. We want to say thank you. This gesture that you have made to us, this is a GOL supported facility. So I want to tell you that even though my bosses are not here, but they will be aware of it. So in due course, they can be able to appreciate you on our behalf. So on behalf of it, Bushra Health District Health Team, Monrovia County Health Team, and the Ministry of Health, we want to say thank you. We appreciate it a whole lot, and by the grace of God, whatsoever you have given this facility will be used for its intended purpose. We say thank you so much.
Thank you very much. So, gentlemen, I hear you.
This one will be a tour of the district today.
Oh yeah, yes. We are just excited that, like I've always said, in one of my mottos is that if I can help somebody, my living shall not be in vain. So you don't have to help sometimes and shout about it. You know, from the time I got elected, 2012, the health centers, the Sonin Wind, especially, and the Slipway health centers will tell you that I consistently try to give to them in my weak ways. So it's not a strange thing. But I got touched by the fact that when people begin to use lantern at night for delivery, it raises the concern. So one of the things I vowed to do here for this particular clinic, health center, is to make sure that we restore electricity. It's very important. So before we restore the electricity, at least we brought a generator for them to be using in the interim, which is very important.
State Radio ELBC.
My name is Yeager. I work for ELBC. It's good to talk about how much are you pumping into your visitation today.
My visitation today, you know, we came on the field with nothing less than between 15 to 20,000 United States dollars to help most of the areas that we've been helping. So it's not about the money. It's about your presence. It's about interacting with the people. It's about the concern of the people. And I want to use this occasion to say the reason why you see I didn't go to the Slipway Health Center. We've allocated nothing less than 20,000 United States dollars in the budget for the Slipway Health Center. So Soniway, not Slipway. Soniway, we didn't go to the Soniway Health Center. We allocated nothing less than 20,000. And the next budget year, we hope that we can include the Slipway Health Center into it. So Soniway, we usually go there. So we promised them before that we'll renovate the place, and what's also we thought enough money is in the budget. I will contact the Minister of Health so that the money can be used for the internal purpose, and that is very important. So I thought to say this to you all because it's important to do so.
Thank you very much, Obadiah Johnson. Gray, some of your constituents are actually expressing concern. They are insinuating that you are doing these gestures or carrying on these initiatives to win the amounts ahead of 2023 general and presidential elections. What do you have to say to them? That's one.
Let me say this to you. Maybe you don't know. And where I am, this is Slipway. When they asked me for a stepway, that when you are driving coming, I did that. When they asked that they wanted a women's center renovated, many years ago, I did the women's center. I even put 10 sewing machines into it. And I did a reading room here for the district, not for Slipway, for the entire district. But the poor management by few people. And I am about to renovate it. So those who are talking are mere detractors. You know, many of them, we took them by storm. They thought that we were not going to contest. But what we've done for the district, and what we've done for communities, every year since I became lawmaker, I spent nothing less than $40,000-50,000 United States dollars on paying school fees. So, but the way our country, political culture is now, and the way it's structured, and you the media people, some of you have been complaining that, oh, you do things, you don't say, there's no PR, nobody out there know about it. So except you want to advise me from Africa and the rest of the media people here, that you shouldn't carry it. Now that you are carrying it, so all the detractors, all the liars, who've been telling the people that we did nothing, the people know that we've been doing things. And you spoke to the head here today. She told you that I've been coming here consistently. She told you Ebola time I came here. People cried about Ebola, but she admitted that I came here and I did my best. COVID time I came here. Okay, and other time I came here, so this is not strange. So you can't tell me say Ebola that this year. You can't tell me COVID is this year. COVID started by 2019, right? Yeah, so you can see very well. So that was our second year in power. So I've always consistently given back to my people.
Finally, former and Honorable Gray, the adequate supply of stable and affordable electricity has been a major problem, as evidenced by your donation of several generators to facilities and works in your district. What do you make of the workings of the Liberia Electricity Corporation under your own government?
I didn't want to use this facility to say that. But however, since you asked me the question, they've underperformed. You know, we raised that on the floor in the plenary. We think it's about time that LECV privatize. Yeah, electricity becomes privatized in our country so that there can be adequate supply of electricity. The government has done well. The international partners have pumped millions and millions of dollars, and yet we are not seeing the adequate results. So it's about time that private sectors come and take over the Liberia Electricity Corporation functions so that our people are waiting to buy electricity. They are prepared. I can say this to you for sure. But the inadequate supply of electricity. So I believe that to privatize LEC is very important. But if you ask me, LEC has not performed. I think they failed the population of Liberia to a great extent.
Linda. Okay, my name is Ibrahim Sharif and I report for the Liberia News Agency. Honorable Gray, we have been privileged to follow you with so many tours within your district, where you have impacted the people within the health sector, the educational sector, in so many areas. But my concern has to do with the disadvantaged youth within your community, within your district at large. So what do you have in stock for the disadvantaged youth in order to empower them so that they can transition?
The place we just left from, I told you there are disadvantaged young people. And we took just 10 of them quick to put them in school because of the prevailing situation where we left from in Capitol Hill community. In fact, when we went to the school where I spoke as guest speaker not too long, I even told the school that they should look for 3 disadvantaged youth out of the first scholarship. So you can see 2, one to the boost and one to the second boost. So we have a concentration and we have a very big idea to help disadvantaged young people, especially in the educational sector, which is very important because you can't just say helping them and you don't provide education or some profession for them tomorrow. So that agenda is very clear, and this is not the first time that we are doing that, and we'll consistently help. You know, we just got to buttress national government efforts. That's what we need to do. It's very important for us. So maybe we can take the last question.
Yeah, the 2%, the general is back. That's the news we've been hearing throughout the district. The return might create panic for those who are going to visit you. What message do you have for them? My final concern, what next following today's event?
Actually, you know, I've been here long since. You know, I realized that representation has taken a 4th dimension. Besides lawmaking, representation, oversight, the 4th dimension is to sit with the people, to get back to them. You can't escape that. That's the dimension. You go to other West African countries, you see that dimension. So that's the dimension I think our people have been talking about. They're not just coming to sit with them, interact with them. But the little God has given to you, how can you also share with some of the people? So now, I think the thing here is that we've not done massive PR with too many things we've done. Imagine spending 40,000, 50,000 US on school fees every year for 10 years. Just imagine. You're talking not less than $500,000 United States dollars for 10 years. Okay, so we don't write people's names down. We don't even know the students. People just come and we just give. It's not just in Monrovia County, across the country, different areas. As I speak to you now, I'm doing 2 big halls in Rawasport, Grand Cape County. Since the foundation of Rawasport, no hall will be bigger than our. As I speak to you now, I'm doing that not because I want to contest in Rawasport. I wasn't born in Rawasport. I did not grow up in Rawasport. I grew up in another era in Grand Cape County. So I did it because I thought the capital city should be like that. It's very important. We advocating for the quota going to our hospital because we can be in government, children from Grand Cape County, our ancestors settled in Monrovia County, where I was born in Monrovia County, and our county road cannot be paved, especially after 12 years. That would be an insult to many of us. We don't want to be like the unborn generation, I mean the generation before us. We don't want to be like that. And Kitman has one of the highest number of educated people in the country. But what did they do? Ellen Johnson said he had nothing less than 5 senior cabinet ministerial positions occupied by Kate Martinez. They did 0 from Grand Cape County. Today now the bulldozer is on the road to Ralphsford as I speak to you. Okay? So we are just doing, we are obligated to give back. We grew up like that. From school days, everybody would say Acarous Moses Gray. I started tutoring people from 4th grade when I was in 4th grade. Okay, I started giving back to my friends. My friends were living with me for many years. People stayed with me, lived with me. I brought up the best cream of Liberians, the best I can boast of. In this generation, some of the best I can boast of in politics, in different parties. But people don't know that Acarous, they just talk because they want to talk. But again, like I said, you know, in a village, when the country devil comes outside, they get something they call power. That the men who are not part of the society, they got to run inside, so the power, then running inside. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
That was the one.
Mr. Candidate represented Acarous Moses Gray from the Governing Coalition for Democratic Change. My name is Obadiah Johnson, saying thanks.